Not only is it important to have a study schedule, which we've talked about, where you know when during the week you're going to study, but you also want to be setting up every time you start to study what I call a study plan for that individual study session. Whether it's 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or 2.5 hours that you plan to study, when you sit down, the first thing you want to do is kind of make that structure of what it is you want to accomplish during this study session, this individual block of time that you're going to study. Now, we tell you and you know that it's going to take 3 hours to study this study unit. But you may not have 3 hours right now. You have 45 minutes. So when you sit down, determine how you're going to spend that 45 minutes. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Are you going to watch a video? Are you going to read the textbook? Are you going to do 20 MCQs during this time? Are you going to look at one of the essay questions? Just every time you sit down to study, identify what it is you're going to do during this individual study session. If you don't do that, you run the risk of, well, I'll read the textbook and then I'll do a couple of questions and then I'll look at an essay, and you've spent 45 minutes, but you really haven't accomplished anything. You've done a lot of little things, but you're not really any closer to the goal that you're working towards. So when you sit down for every study block, spend a couple of minutes and just identify what specifically are you going to do during this study block, this study time. It's going to make it a lot easier for you. You're not going to have to think halfway through, well, now what should I? You already know. I'm going to watch this 20-minute video, and then I'm going to do 10 MCQs. I'm going to read these 5 pages in the textbook, and then I'm going to do 10 MCQs connected to it. Or it may be that the last study session is when you read the textbook or you watched the video, and in this hour, you're just going to do MCQs. It might be that this is a review, and so you're going to go back and look at some of the other topics you've already studied that you need to keep fresh in your mind. But just help yourself make each individual study session as effective and as efficient as possible by setting up your plan at the beginning of that block of time for how you're going to use the time during this individual study session.